Hello, fight fans. Welcome to another episode of More Than a Fight podcast. I'm your host, Jose Alfredo Alcázar, and your other host is.
John.
And yes, we do not have Juan today. He is on vacation. Send out love to Juanillo. Um, and this will be our recap of last weekend's fights. We're going to kick it off in the UFC, which saw the main event was Thomas against Holland.
Yes.
And this was actually a really great card. John, where do you want to start?
Well, go ahead and start off with the main event, which was probably, I think, candidate for fight of the year. Um, yeah, Kevin Holland versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, both strikers, and that's what we got.
Yes, it showed early on.
You know, you have Kevin Holland stunning him in the first round and breaking his right hand in the first round. It's crazy. But Wonderboy just too fast for him. And then this, like, even with his hand broken, he's like, no, we're gonna do stand.
Oh, yeah, that kick, man. I'm surprised that kick didn't put him down. He caught him
kick.
pretty good.
Like this body kick right here, he even had it.
Oh, man.
And then watch his face afterwards. Comes back up. Oof.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
That was just toughness.
Didn't come out on the fifth round. Came out.
Look at that.
Yeah. And Wonderboy was just as jacked up. His left hand was broken. Holland's right hand was broken. Great fight.
And they went at it, man.
And it's crazy that even after the fight, Wonderboy says, you know what? You want to keep seeing fights like this? Put me against strikers. Stop putting me against wrestlers and stuff like that. Like, let me fight. He wants to get to the belt, but let's have some fun fights on the way there.
Props to him for saying that, man. Not many guys would say, put me in there where I could get into battles.
Yeah. And he's 39 years old. You know, he's getting up there. But
yeah.
Look great. And fantastic fight. And yeah.
Great back and forth. I thought Holland might end it, or obviously early, but Thompson, man, it's tough as hell. Well, they both are. Obviously, we saw there.
Yeah.
Like those kicks Holland took. Dude, can't believe he kept going when he did. Obviously, didn't make it out to the fifth, but it was still one hell of a fight.
And I like that the fact they're like, listen, there's no point fighting the fifth. We're not going to do anything different. You're hurt. Let's just end it.
Right. Looking out for the fighter.
Exactly. And so I think overall the card was great because we had some great prelim fights, great main card fights, and let's go ahead and get it started with Yasmin Youri.
Howdy or which one?
Yeah, you got it right.
Howdy against Nunes?
Yes, versus Estela Nunes.
Yes, this is another good fight that started off almost like Holland and Thompson in the sense that Nunes got the best of Jauregui early.
Yeah, dropped her in the first, and then Jauregui came back in the second.
I could tell Jauregui had made an adjustment at the end of the first when she was fighting against Nunes, because Nunes was doing a good job in the beginning of the first with distance. She was able to keep Jauregui on the outside and not let her come in, and then Jauregui, to her credit, made an adjustment, and at the end of the first started to find a way in, and then second round we saw what happened.
No, you're 100%, because even in the first, yes, she got dropped, but she was turning the tables on Nunes even in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know, now you know. Yasmin Youri, keep an eye on her. She's somebody to keep an eye on.
But Nunes looked good, man. Even in defeat.
Yeah, no, 100% Estela Nunes, but that ground and pound was vicious.
Oh yeah, I know. Oof, that was bad.
I mean, she looked different after one round. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I didn't really notice it until you said wait till she gets up, and then when she got up, I was like, wow. She had lumps over here, and then the big hematoma above her eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, she like rearranged the top or her forehead. It looked He busted up, man.
Yeah. And then we'll move on to the next fight. We have Francis Marshall coming from the Contender Series versus Marcelo Roja.
This was an entertaining fight as well.
Yes. And just a sweet little right hook. Boop, and just flatline him.
But before that, Rojas was looking good in the first round.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, almost the same thing as this last fight. At the end of the round, I felt Marshall was making some adjustments against Rojas. But
I think
props to Marshall, man.
I think you're just seeing young fighters, coming through into like higher level scenarios, trying to figure it out and making it work. It's a great showing by Francis Marshall. Like you said, little rough waters in the first round.
Well, dude, Rojas was tough.
Yeah.
He had a nice guard. He was landing some good counters. I mean,
And
was
he's a
not
wrestler.
an easy day at the park for Marshall, even though he knocked him out.
And he's a wrestler. He's not even really a striker. So another guy to keep your eye out on.
Absolutely.
And then we're moving on to forget. It is so Darren Elkins fought.
Ooh.
He did lose against Jordan Pearson. He calls himself JSP. I'm not a big fan of that, but is what it is.
That's one hell of a tattoo to have with that image.
The damage, yeah. Darren the Damage Elkins, bro. And the ref comes in. You want to fight? Fuck yeah, I want to fight.
Damn.
And also, shout out to the other veterans on the card. After this, you had Michael Johnson versus Dia Casey. You had Clay Guida versus Holtzman, and then Angela Hill versus Ducote. All of them won by decision. But I think everybody wrote all of them off. They all thought they were going to lose, especially Guida. Everybody thought Guida was going to lose, but
he still got it.
He now has 74 takedowns in the UFC. And he says he's trying to work to be the most takedowns in UFC history. So, hey, the carpenter is working. But we're moving on, and we're moving on to Phil Rowe versus Nico Price. Nico Price coming after 14-month layoff. Look great.
Yeah, this was a very good fight too.
Phil Rowe closed it out with just viciousness. And I mean, Nico was leading the dance before this.
Yeah. Nico was hurt Rowe too at one point.
Oh, 100%.
He had him hurt.
And just Phil Rowe come back like a hurricane.
Yeah, man, that was when another entertaining fight. Like you said, it was a very good card from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Nico Price is one tough customer, man.
And then we have a huge win for Eric Anders versus Chris or Kyle? Dawkins. Yeah. And this is a real big win for Anders because he's been on a rough streak lately, and he looked great, putting aggressiveness and just heavy hands.
It looked like Dawkins didn't have a chance. Honestly, he couldn't seem to find a way in to try to do anything to Anders, and Anders just was able to.
How much do you think that head collision?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it probably did stun Dawkins, but even before that, I didn't feel like he didn't have a good way of getting to Anders because Anders seemed to have a good defense, or just Dawkins didn't know what to do.
And I think
to get
you're right.
To Anders,
I think Anders was much more aggressive than Dawkins thought he was going to be, and Anders took advantage of it. And then we're moving on to this is Roman Dolidze versus Jack Hermanson. Dolidze coming off short notice and pulling some slick shit.
Oh yes.
Look at this. He's going for a calf slicer, holding the class. Like, what do you do? You can't even.
Basically immobilized him. Yeah. He couldn't do anything.
Exactly, and he goes for the ground and pound TKO finish, and bro, you see that? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. Because I have bad knees, so all I kept thinking about was the pain he must be experiencing in that type of position with your knee like that bent up, and then you can't really move because the dude's behind you pounding you.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do?
Well, the dude's hitting your face, not pounding.
Well, he's hitting him. You know what I mean? I'm not trying. He's hitting him.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't phrase that one well.
But
You know how
Dolidze,
my bad.
Dolidze is a problem.
Yes.
Is a guy to watch, and yeah, is a very interesting fighter, even coming in on short notice. So, and then we also have this is gonna be this one was not a fan of because I'm a big tie to a guy, but Sergey Pavlov coming in with a 4-fight first round knockout, making it 5.
Yes.
Also, the
Oof.
longest UFC
Oh
heavyweight,
my goodness, these dudes.
just banging.
Yeah, dude. Ty just did not think to
Hey,
maybe
and you
box a
cannot,
little or move or get away for a little bit to reset.
but you can't deny Ty's trying to fire back.
No, absolutely. But that was the problem. Was
Yeah.
that he was trying to fire back? Maybe he should have tried to
Take him down or
back
something.
away or use the cage, try to reset, and then go back at it. But nope.
No, and you could,
Ty stayed in there and said, "No, I'm gonna go for it," and he went for it. And unfortunately, he didn't. He didn't get the home run. The other dude did.
then if you look at the damage to Ty's face, just
Oh
over
yeah,
that little
he got cut
sequence.
up pretty good, man. He was
Yeah,
busted up.
Sergey's got power,
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
and he's a heavyweight. I don't know who you would fight next. I- It's weird. Maybe Yair Rosenstruck versus Kyle Dawkins this next weekend. Maybe you could take the winner of that, but I don't know where he sits in heavyweight.
Right.
But nobody really knows because is it John Jones versus Ngannou? Who cares? And then we also have Matthias Nicolau versus Matt Schnell. And Nicolau, nobody really counted him in, but he just dismantled Schnell. This was probably the most dominant fight of the night, I think. I don't. Everybody says other fights were dominant, but no, I think this was the most dominant fight of the night.
Right.
Just the way he took advantage of him. And then the co-main, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Brian Barberena. And what were your thoughts about the fight?
You said it earlier. You said it when we were talking about it off camera. Was that he just wrestled him and didn't really allow Barberena to do much of anything. He dominated, honestly.
No, 100%. He had a triangle going, the arm triangle.
But even in the first round, Barberena wasn't really able to do much.
Yeah.
Rafael was all over him.
And then I don't know about him calling out Conor McGregor.
Yes.
I mean, yes, he deserved the fight, but I don't want to see him wrestle fuck him. That's my problem. But fantastic UFC card. And then we'll just run through some boxing.
Oh, yes.
And starting off, the heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury versus Dereck Chisora 3.
Oh, yeah. This one was a tough watch, to be honest. At least
Plenty of people are there.
I can't believe there was that many people there for that fight.
Well, what's his face?
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Dereck Chisora, but I'm amazed that the British fans showed up like that.
Well, what is it? The one guy was telling Frank Warren that people will show up for Tyson Fury to lick a stamp. It was like he was not a good fight. And I mean, listen, I would have preferred Thor to get knocked out early.
Yes,
than this.
I agree. I thought it. I wanted it to end right here in the second and third round. I wanted it to end because you could clearly see that Dereck Chisora had no chance, and we all knew that. We all did. I don't understand if you're there what the point is of sitting through 12 rounds of watching another man get beat.
And just especially the way they acted after the fight. Like, I mean, listen, I would be thankful if I got a $3.5 million purse. You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying Fury walked away with 25 and Chisora got 3.5.
I mean, eh. The most interesting thing happened after the fight.
And speaking
with
after
all
the
due
fight.
respect, it's just not a fight that exactly.
Like, what the hell? And it was such a shit show afterwards. I mean, Fury, being a carnival barker, was selling it as hard as he could. Usyk really didn't know what was going on.
Oh, Joe
Joyce is like, let me get in this bitch. Look, and then you see Usyk, he's like, I gotta take a phone call.
I would have too. I'd be like, these idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe Joyce is a big dude, though.
No,
100%. Those are two contrasting men, right?
Yes.
There. Usyk and Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce 100%. Has a chin made of granite, and then Usyk boxes exceptionally well. Two different styles for Tyson Fury.
I mean, Usyk is first crack, right? But
it has to be. Usyk has to be next. Undisputed matters more than ever.
But
you gotta take Usyk.
But do you think Usyk does it?
Usyk's ready for it. Yes, his team have already said all we need is Tyson Fury's signature, and we're ready. They've come out and said it.
Yeah,
they said all we need is Fury's signature.
Because even in that face-off, he was like, if Usyk bottles it up, I'll fight Joe Joyce. You know, and it was I liked it that they had him there, which kind of says something about the fight, right? When you have two people who are ready to face off against you after you win.
But Joe Joyce might need to. I'm trying to think of who Joe Joyce could fight, because really, again, we need undisputed. It has to be Fury, Usyk.
Yeah.
There's no need for anybody else. Well, actually, Joe Joyce has plenty of options. He could do Zhang, like we mentioned earlier, or he could do Hrgovic, who fought Zhang, or he can even do. I would love to see Anthony Joshua, but I don't believe that will happen. Oh, that's right. It's the co-main. Daniel Dubois and Lorena.
But do you think he would actually fight Dubois after 3 first-round knockdowns?
Joe Joyce?
Yeah.
Well, Joe Joyce already beat him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he Dubois ended up having to stop. The fight got stopped because Dubois got a huge lump over his eye, and they just felt it wasn't safe for him to continue, which was the right call. I mean, he got criticized for it, but I think it was the right call to stop that.
So he gets damaged in fights, huh?
But I think you were right about what happened to Dubois, and that was an ankle issue.
Yeah.
On the first knockdown, it seemed like
something happened.
Something happened there.
Yeah. And I mean, he came back.
Yeah, he came back and knocked out Lorena, as he should have, because you're trying to work your way back into the top echelon of heavyweights, and he needed to win. And well, him getting knocked down 3 times, if I'm Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn, I want Daniel Dubois, because that is an ideal matchup for them.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially like you said, little knockdowns here and there. I mean, I'm not saying he's done for it, but yeah.
Yeah, that let's assume it was the ankle. Let's hope that's why he got knocked down like that, because it looked a little odd. Like, okay, maybe this fight shouldn't keep going if he's because the second time he went down, it wasn't even a knockdown. He like something wasn't right, and he went down on his own.
Yeah, and he put the both hands down
to
signify that. Yeah,
and then the first round you called or you pointed it out that it ended 9 seconds too soon.
Yeah,
so that was a little odd. Did they do that intentionally? Was it an error?
Yeah, and then when they ended the fight, Lorena, it was the same thing. It was at the bell, and their corner was going off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that definitely looked like some home cooking, unfortunately for Lorena.
It's a nice fish and chips and mushy piece.
Right.
But
No, yeah, the heavyweight division,
it's exciting.
It has to be Usyk Fury next. Joe Joyce needs to go fight somebody else while that happens. We need undisputed. But what worries me is that I heard that Tyson Fury needs to have surgery.
Yes. He's saying he has to have surgery. He's not going to be back to like March.
Okay, not that bad.
I mean, it's not that long.
That's not bad.
I mean,
But
if he's saying March, I would say a couple of months after that.
Let's call it April.
May.
Okay.
I think May. But come back to the U.S. with Chocolatito versus Estrada.
Yes, sir.
What were your thoughts?
It was definitely not what I expected to begin with in the early to mid round. Estrada did a great job of boxing. And I didn't expect that from him because obviously we expected it to be just like the previous two fights where these dudes were just going to trade. But Estrada came with a game plan and it was working early to the mid round because I felt he won. He was winning the fight into the 6th, 7th round.
Yeah.
And then Chocolatito came on like he normally does.
Yeah.
I just felt that Estrada won enough of the early rounds that when the late round, when Chocolatito came on in the late rounds, it was a little too late.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because if you look at the scorecard, it's basically kind of the same thing. What? Wait,
Estrada blue 10. Yeah, a lot of them gave him the early rounds.
Yeah, and then the late rounds 6, 7 through 8. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh yeah, because one of them had it a draw.
Exactly. And then 115, 113, 116, 112. I think good scorecards. Good scorecards.
No, yeah, Estrada surprised me. He was keeping Chocolatito off balance with his movement. Like Chocolatito wasn't able to really adjust because
he couldn't
Estrada
sit
was
down.
moving well. Yeah, he couldn't sit down. Thank you. He couldn't sit down on his punches. And props to Estrada for coming in there with the right game plan because after his last fight with Archie Cortez, I'm like, dude, if you're gonna take this kind of a beating against Cortez, and then you're gonna go fight Chocolatito, how are you gonna win? But he had a good game plan, so props to him and his team.
No, 100% his game plan was really, I think, what took it. Was just the ability to get out there, never let Chocolatito sit on his punches, anything like that. Yeah. So good fight. They're talking about Ioka Franco for him next. Who do you see?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Obviously, Bam Rodriguez would be ideal, but I could see Bam.
Well, he's got to get started, right?
Stepping aside to let his brother take on Estrada because that fight was supposed to happen. Franco and Estrada in San Antonio early this year, and it didn't happen because I want to say Estrada's team put it off. I forget why. I want to say they claimed illness, some type of illness. I think it was, and that's why it didn't happen. And then negotiations too were an issue. So I hope that he does take on the winner of Franco and Ioka. So that would be a great fight for Estrada. And then Chocolatito, I don't know. I mean, he still looked pretty good. So he could still
Oh no.
Maybe I would love to see him fight like, can't I think of his name right? Filipino cat.
God damn it.
Dang it. We saw him fight Inoue. Inoue knocked him out.
It is going to be.
Oh no!
Nonito Donaire!
Nonito! I'm so sorry. Nonito's a great fighter. My bad, Nonito.
Yeah, Nonito.
Great fighter. Because Nonito says he can make 115 pounds. But maybe they could do a catch weight of like 117. And that would be a great fight. Two legends, Chocolatito against Nonito. That would be an awesome fight.
That's not bad.
I would love to see that. That would be great.
All right, let's close it out real quick. We're getting a little bit long.
Yes, sir.
We have Martinez versus Carmona.
Yes. Julio Cesar Martinez.
Carmona was leading the dance early.
Yes, sir.
And I see everybody talking shit like Martinez should have knocked him out or something.
Yeah, Carmona came in with a good game plan. He was boxing well.
Another Spaniard, right?
And he had, I think maybe he did hurt his hand. Maybe that's what happened.
No,
Because
they
he
were talking about
stopped
his right
throwing.
hand, yeah. And yeah, we have the scorecards for that. Another 114, 114. But then we have a 117, 11. The 116, 12.
Yeah.
Interesting scorecard.
And another draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then on the undercard of the
Oh, yes. A couple
the
of...
Estrada, yeah, we have a couple guys. Diego Pacheco versus Adrian Luna. And Pacheco got business done, son.
Yes. This dude keeps looking good. Granted, these are the type of opponents you would expect for an up-and-comer
But he looked
to get.
crisp and clean.
Yeah.
Like this one. Ah,
Oh.
just
Beautiful
so crisp.
counter, yeah.
Ah.
And he's with Team Benavides, and he keeps looking very good. Again,
Body shot.
he's young, and you're going to get these type of opponents, so we can't get ahead of ourselves either. But so far, he looks very, very good.
Yes, sir. And then another guy on the undercard who is also going to be fighting a fighter this week, or scheduled to fight Felix Cash, is Austin Emmon Williams versus Michael Madsen, I think.
Yes, Matt, you're right.
And came in with his dog. First guy to ever do a walkout with his dog.
He's talked about his dog before, too.
Yeah, it's a bit creepy.
Oh, yeah. Look at that elbow. Yeah.
The little sneaky elbow. Hey!
Damn, that was... yeah, man.
But this one, I couldn't figure out what he was doing. The little toe tap.
What the...
The referee stopped him. He was like, hey, can't be doing that.
Yeah, that was... But I'm glad Ammo's
dominated.
Yeah. Ammo's doing his thing and continuing to win.
And then this is the guy he is scheduled to fight if Felix Cash wins this week. So, should be interesting.
And he's fighting on the undercard of Warrington and
Exactly, sir.
Alberto Lopez.
So yeah, quick little recap.
Then Marc Castro was on that card too. He won. Another guy to keep an eye on.
I thought Castro should have fucking finished the guy.
Yes.
Just like, I mean, Emmett Williams should have finished him, but Madsen was pretty fucking tough. But the guy he fought, Castro, he dropped him in the 8th, but he couldn't finish him. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence with Castro.
Yeah, well, again, they're young. They got to keep working, getting better.
But hey, thanks for watching the recap. Appreciate you guys. What do we do?
Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification button.
Hey,
and we'll catch you on the next one.